Hey Pam, are you there? There is something that you and I should talk about. Or rather, I guess it's something more that I just need to tell you. There isn't really much talking to be done about it now that I think about it. Anyways, I just wanted to tell you that tomorrow my sister is going to come over to our house to hang out for a while.
Hold on a second, Fred. Why am I just hearing about this now? I really wish that you would have told me about this way sooner. I had no idea that anyone was going to be coming over, let alone your sister, tomorrow. I have so much that I have to prepare before she gets here. I don't have time when you tell me these things so last minute.
What are you talking about? What do you have to get ready? There isn't anything you need to prepare for my sister. Why would you even think that you need to do something like that? It doesn't make any sense.
Fred, you aren't really serious about that, right? You know that there are always some kinds of preparations to be done when someone comes over. I have to clean the house, make it at least look presentable, and try and be a good host.
Well, I really don't see what the big problem is. It isn't like you have to tear apart the whole house and do some kind of deep clean or something like that. I don't see why you just can't throw things in the closet and make the houses look somewhat nice for them. You know? Besides, you're my wife. That's kind of your job to be ready for these kinds of things anyways. If you're really that worried, then you should have been keeping the house in order just in case anyone were to drop by anyways. But it's not like you don't have a ton of free time anyways. I mean, you've basically been doing nothing ever since you got pregnant. I'm really not buying it if you're trying to tell me that you don't have enough time to do this one little thing for me.
But that isn't even the problem. I don't think you're being fair to me at all right now, Fred.
I'm sorry, but if that's all you have to say to me, then you're going to have to try a little harder to come up with a better argument. In fact, you may as well get it through your head right now that the moment you married me, you gave up any right to argue with me at all.
What do you mean? You can't actually be serious about that, right? Why are you being so overbearing? This isn't fair. I mean, you're talking as if you're someone out of the 50s or something. Don't you know that husbands can't just treat their wives like this anymore? Besides, I'm literally 8 months pregnant. Are you really just not going to acknowledge that at all? But this isn't just a recent thing. I feel like you've been treating me poorly like this ever since I got pregnant all those months ago. Aren't you worried at all about our child and what kind of effect that treating me like this might have on them? You're being completely unreasonable.
You really think that just because you're pregnant, it means that you can get away with whatever you want? Why do you think being pregnant even makes you that special, huh?
What do you mean? I don't think it makes me special. I think it means that I have a health condition where I have a literal human growing inside me.
Oh, please. Just why do you think that merits you any kind of special treatment at all, huh? Any woman can get pregnant. You're not that big of a deal, you know. You really think that just because you're pregnant, then I have to do every little thing for you? No, you're having a baby. But that doesn't make you a baby. You're just going to have to learn how to take care of yourself and quit relying so much on me.
And do you think you're going to feel the same way about all of this even after I have our child, Fred?
What are you talking about now? Why are you always trying to change the subject? If you're trying to make a point, then just make it and move on with your life. I really don't have the time to deal with some hysterical pregnant lady right now.
I just mean that even after I have our kid, are you still going to demand that I do everything by myself? Are you really just going to make me continue to take care of the house and chores and the child while you do nothing to help out at all?
I don't get what you're trying to ask. I mean, just who else would do any of that anyways?
I really can't believe the messages that I'm reading from you. You are just being ridiculous. I mean, are you really not going to help out around the house or with the child at all after I give birth? Well, if that's how you really feel about the situation, then I feel I understand very well where we're at right now.
Yeah, where we're at is that I don't want you coming to me asking for help for every little thing, got it? You're a wife, and that means that it is your job to obey what your husband tells you to do and quit whining. Did you really not think that when you got married, you wouldn't have to take care of the house and chores and everything? I'm not treating you like anything.
I just didn't think that after we got married that you were going to turn into such a domineering jerk, Fred. I mean, you do know that I have a job as well, right? I'm only not working right now because of the pregnancy leave, and I'll have some more time I'll be able to take after I have the child as well. But the fact of the matter is that I still work and I still contribute to the family in that way. So I don't know why it is that you think you can treat me as if I never ever do anything for this family.
I'm treating this way precisely because you're not contributing anything to the family at all. Besides, nothing that you said changes the fact that I'm the husband and you're the wife, and whatever I say goes. The moment you said I do, you swore your life to me. You pledged to always be faithful and obedient and never once question your husband. Did you really not realize that's what you were getting yourself into?
I don't remember anything besides the faithful part ever being part of our vows. And if you really think that's how a marriage is supposed to work, then I don't even know what to say to you. But I guess if anything, I should say I'm grateful for you making your position perfectly clear. And I guess I finally understand why it is that you haven't shown me an ounce of kindness ever since I first got pregnant.
And just what makes you think that someone like you even deserves a gram of kindness from someone like me, huh?
You're right. I guess it's probably because you're running around showing all your kindness to someone else.
Excuse me? What did you just say to me? Just what is that supposed to mean, huh? How dare you talk to me like this?
I didn't mean anything by it at all, Fred. Anyways, I have to get ready for your sister to arrive tomorrow, so I'm about to be very busy.
Hey, you should be completely free this summer, right? I mean, you don't really have anything scheduled for the whole, say, summer break until school starts back up. Does that sound right?
I'm not quite sure what you mean about plans or being free. I am 8 months pregnant, so by the time summer starts, I'll probably have already moved into the hospital to get ready to give birth.
Right, okay. So you're going to be in the hospital for a little bit of time near the start of summer, and then besides that, you should be free. Do I have that right? I guess that means that you wouldn't have any problems watching kids then, right?
Fred, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about right now, but watching kids is all that I would be doing anyways after I get out of the hospital. Or rather, I should say that watching a kid, ours, is the only thing that I'm going to be doing once I get out of the hospital.
But you already said that you don't really have any other plans for the summer after you have our baby, right? Please. You have to give me a hand here. My sister could really use your help, Pam.
I'm sorry, but I still have no idea what you're going on about. What help does your sister need? You're still not telling me why you want to know whether or not I'm going to be free this summer.
And the only reason I'm asking if you're going to be free this summer or not is because my sister is going to need someone to look after her 4 kids for the summer break.
Wait, what? Are you telling me that you want me to be the one to look after them? When I'm already so close to giving birth to our own child right now? You can't actually be serious about that, right?
Of course I am. I wouldn't be asking this of you if I wasn't serious about you doing it. That wouldn't make any sense at all.
But what do you mean? Why do you think I would agree to this? What does any of this have to do with me?
It has to do with you because you're going to be home all day anyways, right? So if you're not going to be doing anything but sitting around the house with a baby, then you should be able to do it just fine. I mean, you said yourself that you still have your maternity leave and won't have to go into the office for a while after you have our kid, remember? I mean, you are really starting to piss me off with this lazy, entitled attitude of yours. Do you know that?
Did you seriously just call me lazy and entitled for being pregnant? What kind of way is that to talk to your wife, Fred? Seriously, what is the matter with you? Why are you treating me like this?
Now look, I'm not going to ask you anymore. Do you understand? You were going to look after my sister's kids, and that's that. Just think of this as a way to get some practice in child rearing before you have to do the real thing. This is going to be a great learning opportunity. You learn how to deal with 4 kids of all different ages. It's going to be great, I promise.
So you were never asking me in the first place is what I'm to get from that then? No! The answer is no, and this is the last I want to hear of it. I'm sorry, but you'll have to tell your sister to go and look for a sitter elsewhere.
What did you just say? You really think you can talk to me like this? Did you forget that you are my wife and I'm your husband? You can't talk to me like that.
Look, Fred, even if I wanted to do this for your sister, it just wouldn't work at all in the current state that I'm in. I am literally about to give birth to our child, and you are asking me to take care of 4 kids for the entire summer on top of that? I mean, do I really have to spell out for you why this isn't going to work? Just think about it, Fred.
What on earth are you talking about, Pam? The only one who isn't thinking about this hard enough is you. Or rather, you're actually thinking about it way too much. Because the whole issue is so much more simple than you're making it out to be. You are going to do as I say and watch my sister's kids, or else I'm going to divorce you. So what do you think about that?
You're serious about this? You're really going to divorce me if I don't do as you say? Do you even understand what you're actually saying when you threaten me with that, Fred?
Of course I do. Do you really think that I would just say something like that without thinking about it first? You're clearly just upset because you can't think of a good rebuttal, and that's why you resorted to these sad little questions. But I've already made it very clear to you that I am the boss around here, and you have no right to tell me no about anything that I ask of you.
So you're really not even going to listen to your wife telling you that she is not prepared, equipped, or willing to do this?
I'm glad that you're finally starting to get some of that through your head. So does that mean that I don't need to have to keep arguing with you over this? Here's the deal. You're going to take care of my sister's 4 kids for the duration of the summer break, okay? You're my wife, and I know for a fact that you have nothing but time on your hands right now. So don't even try to tell me that you're not going to be able to do this. If I hear even a word of complaint from you again, so help me, I will really divorce you.
Well, okay then. Consider this my one more word of complaint. Now let's go get that divorce started, Fred.
Wait, what? What do you mean? You're telling me that you want to get divorced?
I mean that you gave me a choice, obey you or get a divorce, right? Well, I've made my choice, so what do you think about that?
But hold on. What on earth are you talking about right now? You're really going to try and walk away from me? What do you think you'll be able to do for yourself after that? You might think that you're tough talking like that to me right now, but I know that you'll never, ever be able to walk the walk. So if you're not actually serious about any of this, then I recommend you keep your mouth shut and don't say stupid things like that, or else I will really leave you.
I'm not trying to bluff you, and I wasn't joking about that either.
Look, the summer break starts tomorrow, and my sister's kids are going to be coming not long after that. I really don't have time for this kind of nonsense from you.
And just why do you think that I'm going to go along with any of this? You can't just drop a huge request on me like this and expect me to jump at it and drop everything else that I'm doing. You can't just treat people, especially your wife, this way. But I don't even see why we're continuing this conversation. It seems that we've said all we have to say.
No, we're not through here. You need to understand very clearly that the only way that you're going to get a divorce is with my permission, okay? I mean, I know that you don't really want to get divorced as a pregnant woman, right? What would be the point in doing something as stupid as that?
Oh no, I think I'm going to be just fine, actually. Besides, I'm only giving you what you wanted, Fred.
Hey, Pam, are you there? Just where did you run off to? I can't find you anywhere around the house at all, and my sister is about to arrive with her kids soon. I thought I told you that I wanted the house to be ready when they all arrived. It looks like you've barely done anything at all around here. You had better be working on cleaning up the house somewhere.
I thought I already told you what I was going to be doing, Fred. I'm getting out divorce papers right now.
Wait, what? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Are you seriously still going on with this stupid prank of yours? I thought I told you that it wasn't going to work on me.
And I thought I told you that I wasn't trying to prank or fool you at all. You and I are getting a divorce, and that is that. Did you actually think that I was joking about any of that? And did you really tell your sister to show up to our house with all of her kids? Why would you do that? What is the matter with you? If you really thought that I was just going to go along with this, then you are sorely mistaken, because I'm not even home right now.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You're not even making any sense at all now. Are you getting a heat flash or something? Is this some crazy pregnant lady hormonal thing? I thought I told you that if you didn't do as I say, then I was going to divorce you. Now you get back to the house right now and start getting things ready for my sister's kids. Are you seriously not going to get anything ready for them at all?
Are you really trying to tell me that I should be worried about these 4 other children when I am literally about to give birth to my own kid? And just what kind of way is this for any father to treat his wife or his unborn child?
What are you talking about now? You really do think that being pregnant makes you untouchable, don't you? When are you going to wake up and realize that you can't shirk your responsibilities like this?
Me shirk my responsibilities? You're the only one literally threatening to divorce me and leave me a single mother if I don't obey you. But the thing is that I would rather be a divorced single mother than be with you for another second, so your threat doesn't work.
Wait, hold on just a second there, Pam. Now, I thought I told you that I didn't think this joke was funny the first time, and I don't want to hear any of this crazy talk from you, okay?
And I am telling you for the last time that I am not joking about any of this. I am very serious. In fact, I've already submitted the paperwork for the divorce, and there's no undoing it now. So there isn't even a point in carrying on this conversation any further because nothing you say is going to change that fact.
Wait, what? Are you really serious? You're really submitting the divorce paperwork already? Please tell me that you're still trying to play some kind of prank on me right now. You can't be serious about that, right?
Why do I even bother with you? Are you even reading the messages that I'm sending you? I am trying to tell you that I am serious. I was never joking about this, and now I've gone and gotten us divorced. It's over. You gave me a clear choice, and I took you up on that choice. Don't be upset with me because I didn't choose the option that suited you.
You can't be serious. I don't know what to say to this. I mean, you're really serious about this, aren't you? You really went and divorced me? But I never told you you could do that. When did I ever give you permission for that?
Permission? Of course you gave me permission. You said I had two options. I could either do what you say like a good docile wife, or we could get a divorce. That's what you told me. I'm doing exactly as you told me and nothing more.
So then you really wanted to divorce me that badly. But then who is going to watch my sister's kids?
That is not my problem and it never was. Figure it out yourself.
What do you mean?
I mean that you pushed me to this point, and if you have a problem with where things are now, blame yourself.
I don't understand. Why would you do this to me?
That's exactly the question that I want to ask you. You drove me to this. You were being so horrible to your own pregnant wife. And you never ever did anything to help out around the house. Did you really think a marriage like ours was going to last?
This can't be right. This isn't Pam. Someone must have stolen your phone to type all this.
I'm afraid that that's not the case. It is your now ex-wife Pam telling you all of this. You treated me horribly and told me if I didn't like it that I could leave. Besides, I know about the affair you were having.
Affair? What are you talking about this time? I was never having an affair.
Don't try to deny it, Fred. I have all the proof that I need.
Proof? What are you talking about? You must have really gone crazy, huh?
You really are gutsy, you know that? Carrying on your affair even when your wife is this pregnant? You have no idea what you've been putting me through with the way you've been treating me.
I only thought you were using your pregnancy to get out of doing your wifely duties.
You have no idea what it's like to be pregnant, and you were never being fair to me at all. You were literally about to have me watch over 4 kids in my state.
But only so that you can get some practice in dealing with children?
The only person who needs practice here is you.
Please, there's no need to be upset with me over this. I screwed up, okay?
I don't want to hear anything more from you. I am sick and tired of having to treat you like you're some god on earth. We are through. The divorce is happening, and you are going to have to pay dearly for your affair. The next time you hear from me, it will be from my lawyer. In the end, Fred realized that he had nowhere else to run and agreed to the divorce. Later, he received a letter from my lawyer inviting him to a discussion about alimony, child support, and the lawsuit for his infidelity. Fred even signed an agreement to never ever contact me again in exchange for a lowering of some of the fees that he would have to pay me. But by then, the rumors of his affair and divorce have been leaked to his company, and he felt compelled to resign in disgrace. Are either of you guys even sane? Julia? What are you talking about right now? There's no way I'd be able to live with my mother-in-law. So I think you're going to really regret the choice you've made, Paige. Do you know what I'm talking about? People say that the moment you start to have your parents living with you, it's game over. I'm sure there are plenty of people in this world that don't like to live with their parents or their partner's parents, but I don't really mind the idea of it. And up until now, my mother-in-law has been taking very good care of me and my husband. So as a way of showing our appreciation for her, we're having this new house built for all of us to live in. We're not going to regret any of this. We'll have to see about that. And if you have that kind of money to build a place like that, how about you give us some too? You both just love all your money, so that has to mean you guys are taking in all kinds of money from your jobs, right? How about this? You send me $1,000 every month, please. Stop joking around about that stuff. We already sent you some money last month, so you're fine. And if that wasn't enough for you, then maybe you need to get yourself a financial advisor or something. You actually think that money you sent me was enough? I was wanting you guys to give me close to $2,000, yet all you sent me was $1,000. You'd better thank me for letting you get away with that then. I don't have anything to really say about what happened then, Julia. How about you have a word with my husband since he was in control of the amount of money we gave you? I can go talk with him. My little brother always listens to anything I have to say. By the way, how have things been going with Ben? Huh? Ben? Why are you worried about my little boy right now, Paige? Because the last time I had met with him, he didn't seem to be doing all too well. Have you been making sure to feed him enough? He's a little kid still and has a lot of growing to do, which means he's going to need as much food as you can give to him. Shut up, Paige. He has nothing to do with you. Are you done now? I want that $1,000 into my account by the beginning of next week. Congratulations on getting the brand new house all built. Thank you very much. I had some stuff to talk with my mom about a little bit ago, so I came over to visit. And I have to say, you guys really did have a large and beautiful home built for yourselves. The place is pretty massive, and the kitchen seems to be where you guys spend most of your money on the house. I am very jealous of what you guys made. So why are you wanting to talk with me now? Did you just want to say congrats on us getting our new house? Because I have a pretty good feeling that that's not all you have to say to me today. You seem to know me better than I thought you did. To tell you the truth, when I was over there today having a look around the new house with my mom, I became very jealous of the place. It's not like you and my brother are going to have any kids yet, right? I happen to have Ben right now, and he is still so young and requires a lot of my attention. And having to take care of him in my tiny apartment is way too difficult of a task for me to always manage. So I started to think to myself that we'd come and live at that house. What exactly do you mean by that? I'm telling you to get the hell out of that house. Can't you see that's what I'm saying? I heard from Mom that the owner of that house is my dad, which means that I can have you kicked out of there and that won't be a problem for any of us. There is still the loan on this house, though. If we're to leave this house like you've asked, will you be able to take care of it all by yourself? A loan, huh? I heard that all you have left to pay is another $80. All I have to do is not pay my rent next month and end my time here. And I can use that money to pay the loan off and have enough to get myself some amazing furniture that suits me. Although I'm pretty sure that my mom and dad will pay that $80, so I don't need to worry one bit. Understood then. If that's how confident you really feel about things, then your brother and I will go. I can't believe you're not even trying to fight back. I'll go ahead and let my parents know for you both that I am moving in there with Ben and taking your place. However, it might be better that I say you both left without saying anything to them and come save the day by living with them instead. I'm still with my mom, so I can tell her all about that right now. And once we are out of this house, you have to make sure to pay off the remaining $8,000 of the loan. What? $8,000? I think you added 2 extra zeros there, you idiot. You really think I'd move in there if there was still $8,000 $20,000 that needed to be paid off? The thing is, though, I'm not mistaken. Oh, come on now, Paige. That is way too high of a number compared to what my mom told me. You can give up trying to shock me into leaving you guys alone now because it's not working on me. I've already told you both to get out of that house, so get whatever things you have to take and leave. Hey, John. Just a second ago, I got a few texts from your sister.
From Julia? And what the heck does she want with us this time? Is this another one of her plans to try and get more money from us or something?
Well, this time it's not about money going to her particularly.
So?
She told me that she'd be moving into the brand new house we just had built and will be coming with Ben. So she's told me that you and I have to leave now.
Really? There's no way my sister is going to be able to pay off the remaining loan on the house. So what does she think she's talking about? Did you tell her how much is remaining to be paid?
I told her the amount, but she didn't believe me. She also said that she's going to tell your parents that we're leaving and that she's going to be moving in with them instead.
I see. So she's still having those same old issues like before. Only thinking about herself in every situation and thinking that things are far better than they really are. And since both my mom and dad are very gullible, they are bound to believe every word that comes out of her mouth.
But that was something that really helped you and I out in the past. It was because your parents are so open to what people say and will listen that they were able to help us out.
I'm aware of that, Paige.
But Julia's already told your mom that we're leaving, most likely.
You don't really have to worry about them. You and I have a life of our own together now, so there are other places we can go live. It's not like I really like the plans that were made for that house anyway. So let's do as Julia has said and get out. I'm sure she'll have a blast not being able to pay off the rest of that loan as well.
All right. When I get home from work today, I'll get my things together and then start to work on yours.
I'll try to get out of work early today and come home to help you as soon as I can. But man, how many times is it going to be for Julia before she realizes that she no longer needs to come and steal her things? Sorry that she's always been such a pain in our asses.
You don't have to apologize about it, since it seems as though you take most of the damage from her. So don't worry about me. This house you guys had built for us is freaking amazing! All of the rooms here are so open, and the bathroom is like something from a resort. This whole house is way better than all the places I've had to live before. Thank you so much for this perfect home. So things are going all right for you there? What? You don't seem to be in too high of spirits right now. Could it be because of all the times I've taken things from you and now you've even lost your brand new home? That's too bad. Because you're not getting anything back from me. My mom and dad haven't said anything outright about this, but I can tell they are far happier having someone in the house who has a kid rather than two useless adults. Your mom and dad aren't those kinds of people. Remember that no matter how much you whine about things, you're always going to stay a loser. But there is one thing that you guys have won at, and that's making all that money in order to take care of me. You're both like my ATMs, and my goodness, is it great getting everything I want. Would you cut all that talking out? You know better than anyone else that John and I have been sending you more than you've deserved in money. And you've never even thanked us for any of that, only coming back to ask us for more and more. Both of us have only been sending you the money because we're worried about Ben, but we will not sit around and do everything you say anymore. Do you even know how much money the two of us have sent you thus far? I've never even bothered to care about the combined amount of money you both send me. It's been about $20,000 now, all right? Do you seriously just think of us two as your ATMs? Well, if you're not my ATMs, then I guess I think of both of you as servants or even my slaves. Anyway, I have the perfect way of describing you both, and that is as my right and left legs. So you feel as though you're royalty or something? Understood. I was thinking of still sending you guys some money from now on, since you have your mom and dad living with you as well now. But that's not happening after hearing how you think of us. We don't need any of your money. All we have to pay off is another $80, and then this house is ours for good. Easy. You think so? Then I'm really looking forward to hearing about next month from you. Stop acting like such a sore loser, please. Hey, you! You both set me up or something. I just got a notice in the mail for a foreclosure. What the hell is happening over here? I already went to Dad and handed him the $80 that he needed for the rest of the house, but things fell off between him and I. So I then went and had a look at his bank account to see why he was so upset, and there I saw that all the previous payments on the house were made by you, sending him $7,920? I didn't know that there was still another $8,000 that needed to be paid. I'm going to sue both of you for scamming me. Are you having trouble understanding things there? I already told you the correct amount a little over a month ago of how much still needed to be paid. Yet for some reason you just led yourself to keep believing that all you had to pay was $80 and not a single cent more. So that is all on you for misunderstanding. I never misunderstood anything. I was told by Mom and Dad that they were paying $80 a month for the past few years now while that house was being built. They weren't lying. John and I told them all they had to pay us was $80 a month and that we'd be handling the rest. Huh? We were finally being able to build and live in our own house. And that even gave John and I the chance to design how we wanted some of the interior to be, although your parents both had a say in some of it as well. Your mom even told us to get whatever furniture and appliances we wanted in the house, and so that's what we did. How does that have anything to do with me right now? We were given the chance to do pretty much whatever we wanted with the house and the furnishings, so as a way of saying thank you, we only asked that your parents pay $80 a month. Originally, that house was made for your mom and dad to be living in, so we didn't want them paying a dime for it. But no matter how many times we told them they didn't have to help pay, they kept on pushing. So we settled on them giving us $80 a month to go towards paying off the loan. I don't think either of them ever said that the remaining value that needed to be paid off was $80. What was that? By the way, why would we ever leave $80 remaining that needed to be paid off for the following month? If we had really been in such financial trouble to where we couldn't just pay that little bit extra off last month, then we wouldn't have had that house built in the first place. But what you're saying is that you've had to pay $8,000 a month on that place? We thought it would be best to pay off that loan as soon as we could. Both John and I know a thing or two about paying off large loans, and it's best to take care of them before too much time goes by. So don't you start complaining to us about how much we've been paying. If something like that was really a thing, then you should have told me that before. You both really did set me up to fail here. As a way of getting a settlement from you, I want you to pay off the rest of this loan. I really have no idea what you're talking about. Why would we ever pay off the rest of a loan on a house we're not even living in? You think that you can really say something like that? If we end up having to lose this house to the bank, then your favorite mother and father-in-law will both be forced to go and live on the streets. If they really do have to leave that house, then we'll just have them come and live with us at our new house. Huh? John and I bought ourselves a condo a while back as a minor investment. The last person who we were renting it out to had moved out, so there was nobody in it, which made it the perfect place for us to move into. You think you can just start acting all high and mighty now just because you had one backup plan that worked out for you? Did you get that condo out of spite because the rest of us have no money? Do you really think John and I are that pathetic? Anyway, we're not going to help you pay off the loan on a place in which neither of us are currently living. You figure out how to pay off the remaining $7,920 by yourself now. You scammers! John! Whatever happened to you putting a damn leash on your wife? Go and take care of her right now for what she's been doing. She needs to be taught a lesson for fighting back against me.
Don't talk about my wife like that.
I was thinking that Paige was a lot weaker than you in terms of your spirit and would be able to manage her myself. But I can't take her anymore, so I'll have to talk with you now. From now on, I want you to pay off that remaining $8,000.
But aren't you to blame for all that's happened here in the first place, Julia?
And what do you think you're doing talking back to me like that?
Would you just shut the hell up for 2 seconds and listen? For the longest time now, I've had to struggle through all the BS you've brought into this family and into my life. You are too old now to still be acting like a child, so cut it out.
What do you mean, cut it out? Everyone in this world knows that when it comes to an older sister and a younger brother, the younger brother's things always belong to his older sister.
Well, I don't know about that, and everyone I know doesn't know a thing like that either. I am not your servant, nor am I your underling. Yet somehow, no matter how hard I tried to stay out of all your trouble, you would come and fight me for not listening to you. And that's not the only thing you'd do. There are so many things of mine that you've stolen from Paige and I. You've took things like stationery goods from me back in school. And then you started to take money from Paige and I, and then clothing from her. You've even taken things like my debit and credit cards to either take out money yourself or buy things on my card. Because of all of that continuing to happen over and over again, all my life, I have come to always think that when something of mine goes missing, it's because you've come and stole it from me. And any time I tried to tell Mom about it, you'd throw an even worse fit. Every time I think back on the days before I was able to leave the house and had to always deal with you on my own, I want to vomit.
What the heck? Are you upset about me wanting all kinds of things from you? Had you just been nice and given me those things I asked for, I would have never had to steal anything from you.
You said that in the past to me as well, and that was all one massive lie. When I started to give you money each month so that you'd stop bothering me all the time, you would still come over and take money from my wallet or Paige's purse. I have been at my limits with you for a while now, Julia. And what you've done this last time has set me over the edge. So I'm going to have a word with Mom and Dad about all you've been doing. I've heard that you lied to them already about why we both ended up leaving that house.
You are not some child anymore, so you shouldn't be getting so ticked off by things like lies anymore. Hell, I'm not going to get upset with you right now over you back-talking me like that. Go ahead and tell them what you have to say about me.
I see. If you really don't mind what all I plan to do, then I'll stop caring about what this will all do to you. I just talked with Dad a second ago, and he said that him and Mom will be cutting ties to you now. But there's no problem with that, right? After all, you did just say that you don't mind what I do.
What? You're joking with me about that, right?
Why would I be lying to you about things now? Dad just said to me that by next week, you need to be out of that house. So I hope you know some good connections for housing, because you need to start looking now.
Hold on a second. I still have Ben living over at this house. He's not even in elementary school yet, and you're going to have us kicked out now?
Hold on. Dad never said anything about Ben being kicked out of that house. Just you. Paige and I will be taking care of Ben from now on.
Are you freaking kidding me? You can't just steal my little boy from me.
Who the hell do you think is really kidding around right now? You have a freaking toddler, yet you continue to act like more of a child than him by doing the most stupid things. I think today you're going to hear some things from Mom and Dad that you're not going to like at all. Go and get your things together, because I'm guessing they will want you out of that house sooner rather than later.
Crap. You are all so freaking useless to me. All of this is your freaking fault. You lied to us all now, haven't you? Both of my parents are going to be cutting ties to me, and they will be taking my little boy away from me. I will have nothing now because of you. You're a monster in human form. If this all ends up ruining my life, I'm going to come for you and make sure your life becomes just as screwed up as mine. And if I end up dying because of all this, then I'm going to write down in my final note to everyone that it was you and John that got me killed. You can go ahead and write that note, but I'm not too sure who all is going to be trusting what you say after you're gone. By the way, things have come all this way, and yet you keep saying that this is all my fault and that you hate me. Is there not a feeling of sorrow for what you've done inside that very small and corrupted heart of yours? Not even an atom of sorrow. And that's because I did nothing wrong here. All I was doing was telling you guys that my things were in fact mine. How was me taking ownership of what was all mine a problem for anyone? Nothing was wrong with that. That house was mostly paid for and constructed with the hopes that John and myself, along with your mom and dad, would be able to move into there and live happy lives together. There was not a single thing about that house that had anything to do with you guys. And what I'm saying is that your guys' things are my things. What about that do you not understand? Would you stop talking about how our things are all yours? Do you have any freaking idea how much money we already have given to you and how much we had to put into that house? At first you were saying you'd at least pay us back someday, yet it's been so many years now and there hasn't been a single penny from you yet. And things only become worse after you heard about John and I starting up a decent business together. You would ask for more and more from us and we'd give it to you because we thought you were at least putting it towards food and Ben, but no. You'd been using all that money to gamble, and you would gamble to your heart's content with that money. And from what else I've heard, you were kicked out of your last apartment because you didn't have the money to pay rent anymore. And that was your 6th month in a row of not paying. That's why you came and took our house from us that we had only just moved into. And since then, you've just been going on and on about how you think you deserve everything and that you've been played by John and I. That's all been the last straw for me. At least your mom and dad still care about us and have been trying to help however they can. So would you please just screw off already, because we are trying to enjoy our own lives here. Don't start talking trash about me over there. All I've been doing is living my life doing the things I have the right to do. Oh, whatever. I'm done talking with you about that. All I have to tell you about is that once we get a hold of Ben, John and I are planning on adopting him. Huh? Why do you think you both can do that? We haven't been able to see him for a month now, and so I've been worried out of my mind about how he's doing. Julia, you've been abusing your son, haven't you? What did you just say to me? Don't even think that playing stupid right now is going to save you. There's already evidence pointing to you abusing your son, so it's over. Your mom even went and took Ben to the doctors when you weren't watching and got a full medical examination done on him. She had him get examined? Now, why would she go all the way out of her way to do that? I get that the kid gets himself into trouble a lot and ends up hurt because of it, but that's just the kind of kid that he is. He has so much energy that he can't control himself sometimes and will run into furniture and the wall sometimes. So don't you dare start saying that I'm abusing him, because I would never do that to a little kid. The doctor told your mom that the injuries he had, like the bruising and such, couldn't have come from just running into things. So stop it with the petty excuses and confess. We know about all the scars he has under his clothing that most people can't normally see. And that's exactly what you've been wanting, right? For none of us to see what you've been doing to him. You are screwed in the head, you monster! You're going to prison for what you've done. Huh? And what makes you think that I'll have to go to prison? Also, Mom had been listening to you guys. She could hear on some nights Ben crying a lot more loudly and with a lot more pain in his voice than normal. You've all been living together, so she could hear all his screams better than anyone else. I hope you're ready for what comes next, you bitch. You're going to court, and then you're going to prison. You're going to take me to court? What? For what? For abusing your child. What else would we be taking you there for? We have all the evidence we need of it, and our lawyers have even stated that it will be near impossible for you to get out of this one. And just to let you know, unlike all the baseless threats you make, this one is very much real. No way, stop all of that. If you really do end up getting the police involved, I'm going to be put away forever. Then what's going to happen to my life? I'll end up dying there. Please do not take me to court and do not tell the police about any of this. I'm not going to stop. We need to make sure monsters like you are put in your cages and placed far away from the rest of us who are just trying to be happy. Paige, please. I will do whatever you ask me to, so please just don't take me to court over this. If I'm taken to court and then sent to prison, that would mean there's a felon in this family, right? You wouldn't want to be related to someone like that, right? So please. I'm cutting ties to you, so I don't care that you get sent to prison. Now it's only going to be a matter of time before the police arrive there to place you under arrest. So get all your things packed up, please, in order to make it easier for the rest of us to pick them up and toss them in the dumpster. Paige! Just a minute ago, I got a call from your mom saying that the police came and arrested your sister.
Is that right? I guess I can let out a small sigh of relief now.
I think tomorrow we should go out with our lawyer and start doing the necessary paperwork to take custody of Ben.
Good idea. I'll give the lawyer a call and get to work on setting the date up at the courthouse.
I know that there have been plenty of times before that we've seen your sister lose her mind and doing the most ridiculous things. But this time, learning about what she's been doing with our money and then with Ben, I can't believe she's gotten this bad, which only goes to show there was never any helping her. John, I'm sure you're relieved to see her go.
This time, even my parents were able to see just how rotten she is at her roots, which means my whole family will now be cutting ties to her, thankfully.
And I'm sure both of your parents, as well as Ben, will be happy to have her out of their lives now for good. I think her arrest is the best thing that's happened in a long, long time.
Make sure to talk with my parents about all of that later. I'm sure they'll be happy to hear just how horrible of a person my sister really is.
That's a good point. I guess before we move back to that house, I'll let your parents know everything. John and his family, along with myself, all collected a lot of evidence of the child abuse that Julia's been doing and took her to court over what we'd found with the help of 3 lawyers. And once the case had been finished and there was nothing that Julia could say against the evidence, she was booked at the state penitentiary and will be there for 35 years. We were also able to get $20,000 from her for all the things she had stolen from us. And since we had an IOU of all the money we lent her, which she signed, we got all that money back as well. We also found out that she had borrowed money from plenty of other people in places too, which meant she was in some extreme debt. Of course, after paying John and I the money we'd been able to ask her for, She had nothing else and was taken away to enjoy the next 35 years of her life in a dark and cold cell. And if she's able to make it out of that prison in 35 years, she's still going to have to deal with that debt. So I think we can all agree that her life of freedom and happiness is over with. As for my husband and I, we've been getting our lives back on track, and so far, things have been going just fine. Originally, John and I had not been having any luck in making a baby of our own, so by having Ben in our care now, it's like I got to skip the pain of childbirth and have gone straight to the fun part of raising a child. Recently, Ben has started to tell me that he would like a sister, but that might have to wait a year or so, until John and I have figured things out. I know that kids will always say what's on their mind, even if they don't really mean it, but Ben might be onto something when he says he wants another kid to play with at home. At the very least, if things don't work out for John and I naturally, we can always adopt another baby, but then we might call it a day there.
Thank goodness you're still alive after all that.
What are you laughing about? This is not something anyone should ever be amused by. Do you not realize that I cannot walk now?
Why are you getting so upset right now? You should be happy that after something like that, you're still going to be able to live life in some manner, right? Heck, the dang car got totaled, so I consider myself lucky to come out with no scratches.
What are you talking about, Kurt? Really? Do you not realize whose fault all of this is? Because of your inability to focus on the road, I'm left not being able to use either of my legs. Why aren't you even coming to the hospital to come see me after that? Every single day has been hell for me!
Yeah, I hear you. But having to go every day listening to you blame me is a real pain. And do you really think I want to think about having to push you around in your wheelchair right now? That's why today, I've gone out and got our divorce papers, and we'll be filling them all out.
What?
And tomorrow, I'll be bringing them to you so that you can fill out your half. I want to have them handed in before noon, so make sure you fill it all out correctly.
Oh, wait a second. What are you saying, Kurt? Are you serious right now?
About what?
After having put me in a wheelchair now that I can no longer use my legs due to your reckless driving, you're just going to throw everything we had away and divorce me.
Well, the Skylar I married was never in a wheelchair, and since you're in one now, you're not the same person I chose to love. And honestly, I cannot be asked to care for you at home. And so, divorce is the only option, okay?
I can't believe that you're acting this disgusting towards me right now. Do you not even understand what's happened between us? I'm never going to forgive you for this now, Kurt.
I couldn't care less about you forgiving me or not. We're probably never going to meet again anyway after the divorce, right? We'll just become two complete strangers living in two very different worlds from one another now. And I mean that as in you'll be living in a world where normal people don't have to be.
Where normal people don't have to be.
You can't walk anymore, right? So you'll never be able to live like us normal people anymore. And for me, I can't be asked to live with someone that can't walk.
I'm at a loss with everything you're saying to me. I have no clue why you and I ever got married in the first place. But I never thought to myself that the man I'd been married to was a monster. At least now, after what's happened, I finally had my eyes open to the kind of beast you really are.
I'll be bringing the divorce papers tomorrow morning. I'm sure you won't be able to come and get it for me, right? You can't walk after all. So that sucks.
Why, Kurt? Why are you being so mean to me? I'll make sure to have my little brother come and grab all of my things from the house. But I'm really hoping that in the meantime you begin to realize how awful you've been to me just now.
Yeah. If I happen to feel any regrets, I'll let you know.
Goodbye forever, you piece of crap husband.
Long time no see, Skylar. You doing all right?
What? Who is this?
What's up with that? You're being a pain in the butt again. You know dang well who I am, right? I bet you're pissing yourself with joy because I've come back to talk to you.
I don't think I have any reason to be joyous about getting a text from the worst man on this planet. What do you want from me? Make it short, please.
What's going on? Your attitude right now is a little bit unwarranted. You're not even close to the same Skylar I knew from back in the day.
Seems you may have forgotten what you had done to me 2 years ago. I'm tired of having to explain what happened back then, so just get on with whatever you've come to me for today.
I'm going to be getting married again.
Huh?
Well, I bet you're pretty surprised by that, aren't you? And the woman I'll be with is only 21 years old. She's like 10 years younger than you. Being able to marry a very young woman like her is the best thing that could ever happen to me.
All of this is so gross and annoying that I'm getting the urge to vomit right now. But before I do, what is your reason for telling me this?
Huh? What's that lame reaction for? Well, whatever, I guess. I'm just letting you know that I'm getting married again. I just assumed it was the right thing to do since you're my disabled ex-wife and all.
Well, thank you so much for going out of your way to tell me that. But I'll be going now.
Hey, you're being too cold to me now.
What did you expect to get from me by coming back to me after 2 years to tell me that you're getting married again?
Come to my dang wedding, Skylar.
What?
I'd like to take a long-awaited look at you in your wheelchair. So come to my wedding. I'll make sure that everything's okay for a cripple like you to even make it into the wedding.
Wait, are you being serious with me? You want me to come to your wedding. Why do you want me to be there again?
Well, to be blunt with it, my girlfriend really wants to see you. She doesn't believe me when I said that my ex-wife is in a wheelchair. And when I explained the situation to her, she still couldn't believe me. And so, I just thought I'd have you come to the wedding to prove I'm telling the truth. I even told her that I left you because I hate disabled people. Yet she still just could not believe what I was saying. It's so cute when she gets like that.
Huh? You said that.
It doesn't matter. So just come. I'm sure you have nothing else going on, right? You can't even work a real job without your legs now.
I do not have a job right now, but...
Well, you couldn't get up to do anything, so of course you don't.
I wouldn't say that's the reason for it, but...
It's thanks to me leaving you after that accident that I'll be able to marry such a young woman. I'm so dang happy that I wasn't looking at the road that day.
Hold on a second, Kurt. Are you sure you really want to be saying something like that right now?
Sorry. I was just telling my true feelings. Well, anyway, what I've been trying to say with all of this is I was right to throw your crippled butt away 2 years ago. I'll be marrying a youthful 21-year-old now. So I'd love to see your face when you come.
Well then, I'll come along with my splendid husband.
You have a husband now? Are you trying to compete with me now?
I can see that you'll try whatever you can to look down on me, but I have a life of my own now. Fine, I'll come to your wedding, Kurt. I'm actually looking pretty forward to having my amazing husband come with me to see the wedding of my monster of an ex-husband.
You are so full of yourself. I can't wait to see what creature you bring along with you.
See you later, then.
Hey, Skylar, what the hell is going on?
What is going on with what?
Why are you with Dr. Frank right now?
I told you that I would bring my splendid husband with me today, didn't I? Seems that you thought I was pulling your leg or something there, though. But I made the promise that I'd bring him, and so I did.
But why did you end up hanging out with that high-life living doctor?
Because he's my husband?
Huh? Wait, you're joking with me. You're saying that your husband is actually Dr. Frank?
That's right. Is there something wrong with me being with him?
Why are you with an elite doctor? There's no way he should have gotten married to you.
Don't you think you're just blinding yourself with all of your lies about the person you think I am? I mean, you work in the pharmaceutical industry, Kurt. You should be more understanding that a man like Frank would want to be married to me. He may be a super well-known doctor to a lot of people in the medical world, but that doesn't mean he's as cruel as you are. I know that in the past I said that I'd never forgive you for what you did to me, but because of you leaving me, I was able to start talking to him while being treated in the hospital. And so actually, I do forgive you and thank you for being a jerk and leaving me.
Huh? You met him while in the hospital?
It wasn't at the first hospital I had been admitted to. Rather, at the next hospital I started staying at for my rehabilitation. And while trying to get my life back together, I met him, and we soon found ourselves getting married to each other. I never wanted to think of all this being because of what you did to me, but now I think much differently. I can truly say that I am thankful that you were such a monster, and because of that, I'll say thank you this one time.
Something like that happened to you. I never thought that could happen.
And just to let you know, my current husband is very much upset with my ex-husband.
Huh? Dr. Frank is?
He can't believe that one of the employees of a pharmaceutical company that he partners with would be so disgusting. At first, I hadn't wanted to remember all that happened between you and I on the day of that accident, and after. So for a while, I didn't tell him too much about the details. But today I decided that it would be a good idea to let him know what you had done to me, and now he's fuming with anger at what he's heard. He's even started going on about how he'll make sure that you learn your lesson for what you've done by having you dismissed from that company.
Hold on. There's no way he could do something like that, right? Stop going on about such nonsense, okay? I'm sure that a man as powerful as Dr. Frank can in some way do something about me, but going that far about something that happened in the past is going way too far, right? What would his reasoning even be?
Do I really have to explain to you the reasoning? If you really take a step back and think about what all you've said and done to me, you'd understand why he's as upset as he is with you. Well, just be happy that we didn't bring any of this up to you at your wedding today. We've already left now, so you don't have to worry about seeing either one of us.
Huh? You've already gone home? I wasn't even able to introduce myself properly to Dr. Frank. You seriously went back home already?
Frank told me that he doesn't want you introducing yourself to him. I mean, that makes sense to you, right? Don't tell me you don't even have enough common sense for something as trivial as that. You jerk.
Are you kidding me?
But on the way out of the wedding, we made sure to tell the bride.
Huh? What did you say to her?
About how you're the worst man on this planet. And about how it was really all your fault that the accident happened and the reason behind me being in this wheelchair. And since you and I were married, I couldn't sue you for what had happened. And you just handed in the divorce papers for us and threw me out because you couldn't handle that I became paralyzed from the waist down.
Wait, what? Why would you say something like that to my woman at this wedding? She's going to start thinking that I'm some kind of monster now because of you.
Maybe you shouldn't be such an awful person if you don't want her to think of you as a monster. LOL. But that's not all.
What else have you done? Can you just stop all this crap?
I let her know that you'll soon be out of your job, and she'll be with a man that is unemployed right off the bat. And then I proceeded to suggest that there was still time for her to call off the wedding. LOL.
Why would you say such needless things to her? Is that the whole reason that I haven't been able to find her anywhere yet? She just texted me. This cannot be happening to me. She just told me she cannot see herself marrying an unemployed loser and is canceling the wedding. Now I'm going to become the laughingstock of everyone that's come here to see our wedding. Why would you do all of this to me? I come so far, and you're destroying it all now!
I have something that shouldn't be all that surprising for you to hear. Doesn't this all seem like you getting what you deserve for the monster that you've been?
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Perhaps this is all due to what you've done to me in the first place. LOL. I know that what I'm saying right now is 100% correct and that you asked for all this after putting me through hell back then. So, do you understand things now?
But you didn't have to be the one to do all of this to me?
Of course I had to be the one to do all of this. And listen, I'm not the one that forced her to leave the wedding. She was just being smart by choosing not to get married to some brainless jerk that would probably do the same to her as you did to me. To any sane person, I did the right thing by telling her about you, LOL.
Why would you still be this upset with me, though? Because of what you've started, my life is going to get all messed up. Stop trying to ruin my life right now. At least hold off of trying to have me fired from my job. I'm in a really good position in the company right now.
I don't really care about what happens with you, Kurt. And besides, I've already told my husband everything and he's free to do whatever he wants with the information. Frankly, I don't even have a problem with him having you fired from your job. But know this, I'm not the one that'll be firing you. So from here on out, I have nothing else to do with you. I'm sorry that I couldn't stay until the end of your wedding and all. But it doesn't matter now since the wedding will be canceled, right? LOL. Sucks to be you, LOL.
You stop all of this now! I can't believe you ruined my whole wedding to such a young woman!
I'm pretty sure it was you that ruined a lot of my life 2 years ago. But after causing me to lose my ability to walk after your own inability to drive, you never once came to me to say sorry for what you'd done to me. So why are you getting all worked up now over your little wedding getting ruined?
I get it! I'm sorry! I'm so sorry! Is that what you wanted from me? Now stop trying to ruin my life any more than you already have! You should know that back then, I didn't mean any harm to you by leaving you, right? You and I had a lovely relationship back then, right? So don't make me lose my job just over some silly little accident!
When I told you that I'm not working at the moment, you immediately started telling me it's due to being a paraplegic, right? Right now, my husband is making a lot of money for us, so I'm a housewife for him. And actually, I'm able to work as a freelancer at home making money doing the things I love. So I think it's fair to say that destroying someone that looks down on people for being disabled is the right thing to do, right?
Please don't say things like that! I never meant to make you feel bad!
Goodbye, you piece of crap axe. And thank you so much for inviting my husband to that precious wedding of yours. LOL. After that, my ex-husband Kurt really did end up getting chewed out by his boss on the phone and lost his job on the spot after I finished texting him. He had tried his hardest to get his boss to listen to him, but was replied to with his boss letting him know that in a pharmaceutical company, there is no need for someone that is hateful towards those with medical disabilities. And once he had gotten off the phone with his boss, the news that the wedding had been canceled was out, along with the reason why. And a whole lot of guests there stormed out while laughing at Kurt like he was the joke that he was. He then ran after the bride and tried to ask her to stay with him, saying that he still loved her and knew that deep down she still loved him. But her parents came to interrupt things and let him know just how much shame he had brought to all of their family by letting their daughter marry a monster. Him. They then proceeded to tell him that they would be cutting ties with him, and he was left with nothing but himself and the costs of a canceled wedding. Kurt really would have been better off had he never contacted me again after the divorce. But because he went out of his way to try and get a few more blows into me by making fun of my disability and all that, he lost both his job and the young wife he was so proud of. At least for me, having him text me back after all that time gave me the chance to finally get my revenge and make sure that he couldn't hurt anyone else after what he'd done to me.
I heard that you and your husband both work jobs, right, Tina? Good evening, Lori. We do both work at the same time, but what does that have to do with you? I feel so sorry for you guys. That must mean that one or both of you doesn't bring in enough income for your family, right? What are you talking about right now? I'm not wrong, am I? If your husband was able to work a job that allowed him to support both you and him, he wouldn't be asking for you to work as well, right? So if he's not able to bring in that kind of money, does this mean that your husband is at the lowest position in the company he works for? I should have known that you'd start to be rude to me again today. I'm sorry, Lori, but this time your hopes of my husband being garbage or something like that won't be coming true. My husband is neither working in the lowest position within the company, nor is he making a salary that can't support the both of us. Is that what you think then, Tina? Because I'm not sure you're 100% aware of everything going on with him. I think I am aware, considering I'm his wife. But one thing that I'm not aware of is just how much he's making. What? In other words, your husband is not willing to tell you the amount he's making? Are you sure that he's not trying to hide something very important from you there? I don't have a good feeling about any of that. The way he's hiding the amount he makes from you, it tells me that he's not making enough money right now. Well, he and I have a way of living our lives that's probably different from yours, so please don't feel obligated to say anything else about it. And know that he's not trying to hide anything from me. And another thing, the reason I'm working a job is because I like the company I work for and want to continue being a part of them. And if something were to happen in our lives that needed one of us to stop working, I feel we'd both continue to be financially safe. What are you going on about? I know that it must be so difficult for you two to live as moneyless lowlives. Can you please stop acting as though he and I are without money right now? So you guys aren't going to be having a wedding because of your tight pockets right now? What? We still plan to have our wedding. You should have already gotten the invitation in the mail about our wedding coming up soon, right? Oh, that was meant to be a serious invitation? I thought that you and your husband were just trying to play around with us. What do you mean by that, Lori? Well, the fact that you're both moneyless yet are planning to have a wedding at the wedding hall as gorgeous as that is just a dead giveaway that you're joking about the wedding. Do you think you'll have the money to afford a place like that? That invitation was not sent out to everyone as some sort of prank. And as for getting a reservation at a place like that for the wedding, we happened to get some help from one of my husband's friends from his work. He was able to get us a spot at a place as beautiful as that, so both my husband and I are really looking forward to our special day. Well, it would be just wonderful if you guys could end up actually giving that wedding. It would be just fantastic to see two moneyless losers become happy at a wedding like that. Could you please start lightening up on the amount of insults you throw at us? Now, thank you for texting me today. I have work to get back to, so I'll be going.
Are you actually planning on having this wedding?
What? Now even you're going to start talking to me about my wedding?
Well, if you're hoping to get any money or gifts from us, then you should stop all of that. Hearing about some moneyless lowlives like you guys throwing a wedding is crazy. Not even I am able to imagine what one would have to do to borrow enough money for a place like that.
Hold on, Wyatt. Why are you saying rude things like that now? This to me looks like a textbook case of your wife brainwashing you, but she really did a number on you making you talk that way about me and my husband. I do remember you and Lori never coming to meet my husband before we were married, but still.
Well, from what I can see, whatever money you do have left is going to be wasted on that wedding if you go through with it. Well,
why are you saying that? Even my husband said that he really wants to talk with you.
I don't have the time or want to talk with someone like him about anything. I already know for a fact that man of yours is good for nothing, just based off the fact that he's making you work a job as well instead of being his housewife. I feel as though your marriage isn't going to make it very far, so there's no point in me wasting time getting to know him. When a man has little money, their chances of being divorced go way up. So I'm betting that'll be coming really soon for him.
You're being a jerk right now, Wyatt. It's fine with you giving small jabs at us here and there because you're my brother, but recently you've really been taking it too far. Ever since you ended up marrying that Lori chick, you've changed for the worst. For now, can you at least try and hide that ugly face of yours until after we have our wedding? Because if you come to the wedding acting like that, you'll regret it more than you'll find it acceptable. Today's the day of your wedding, right, Tina? But unfortunately for you, my husband and I do not have the time to be coming to a wedding for two measly lowlives right now. What? I know it's only a few minutes before the start of your wedding, but we're canceling. What are you going on about now, Lori? I'm talking about how my husband and I will both be taking the day off from your wedding. We feel that being there to give you guys money or a gift would be a huge waste of our own time and money. What? So you want to tell me that right now of all times? I know that you're having a great time telling me that right before the start of my special day, but you're going to regret not showing up today. Well, both Wyatt and I do not want to attend the wedding of a couple of losers. I know it's only a few minutes out, but he and I are canceling. Then you're no longer allowed inside the wedding hall anymore. I was never planning on coming. And when I say you're no longer allowed in, I mean that very personally. Even if you do come out here and try getting in through the doors, we'll have them locked. Just as you've said yourself, there is no need for a couple like you to be here at a loser's wedding to give them any gifts or money. So don't worry about the late notice. Goodbye. What the heck, Tina? Is your wedding already started now? What is it that you want from me now? The wedding is already starting, so please don't waste any more of my time. Right now, both Wyatt and I are coming out there. We'll be at the wedding hall in a little bit here. Even if the two of you are crying your hearts out to be let into the wedding hall today, I'll make sure that you're both kept outside. Huh? Why would you do that? It hasn't even been an hour yet since I told you that I'd never be letting you into the wedding hall, and you've already forgotten that? You told me you were fine with that, and that's why you're not going to be let in now. So please, stay the hell away from here. That's not what any of this is about right now. Things have changed for the both of us. Wyatt just received a call a little bit ago from his boss. Oh, well, I was thinking about how something like that would probably happen soon. My husband is the CEO of a very well-regarded company, and a lot of other companies' leaders are at the wedding right now. And my brother's company is a partner to my husband's, and so a lot of his company's higher-ups are here right now attending the wedding. Why did you never tell either one of us something as important as that before? Normally anyone would say something like that to everyone around them. And right now, information like that is the most important thing for my husband and I to know about. Why is it that important for you two to know? Because those leaders, his bosses, are the ones that will be promoting him soon to a much better position. And all of them being at the wedding today means he'll have the perfect chance to sit down with them all and talk more about personal things, right? Well, from what I've heard, this was supposed to be the perfect occasion for both my brother and my husband to talk over different things regarding their partnership, right? What? Well, that's just too bad now. We've already told everyone that you both looked down on us, thinking we were without any money, so those talks won't be happening. You're telling me that the CEO of the company that my husband's been working with wanted to talk with him today? That means today is the only chance for Wyatt. You let us into that wedding hall right now. But I already told you it's too late now. Why is it too late? You must really not be aware of the problems you've created for yourself with the way you've treated my husband and I, huh? The CEO of the company that Wyatt's been working with this whole time is the same man you both continued to call a lowlife and moneyless for making me work a job as well while married. But at the time, I had no clue about that. That would have been the perfect time for you to tell me that he's the CEO of that company and that you both really do have money. All you have to say to me was that your husband is a CEO, and that would have ended everything I was saying. Then we never have to be asking you to let us into the wedding, and Wyatt could be discussing the next deal with your husband. You were the ones that called him a moneyless lowlife because I never wanted to be a housewife. There was never going to be a stop to what you were saying about us had I told you he's a CEO. Well, at this point, it's all impossible to change. So sorry that you lost the one and only chance to have your husband look good in front of all his superiors. Anyway, I have a wedding to get going with, so I'll talk to you another time. Wait, Tina! Even Wyatt is telling me that he had no clue that your husband is the CEO of that company. We had both never known about what your husband did for a living, and so there was no reason for us to act any other way than we had. I'm not sure what you mean by all of that, but what was your goal in talking to me the way you had been and treating my husband like he was nothing? I have no plans of letting you two into the wedding now. After all, you guys were the ones to cancel on us, right? And we had canceled before learning about what all was going to happen at the wedding today. All of that has nothing to do with the way you treated us. I have no need for family that is going to treat my husband and I like we're nothing more than bags of trash. I think I'm going to use this event as a way to finally cut ties with both you and Wyatt. I understand just how angry you are with us right now and why that is. But can you at least let my husband into the wedding hall? He's your own brother, Tina. Give him the chance to get his well-deserved promotion. I will not. What? Why not? Do you not feel bad for what you're doing to your brother right now? And I'd like to ask the same thing of him after the way he treated my husband and I. What? I want to know if he feels bad for calling his sister's husband a lowlife, and if he feels anything at all for canceling on our wedding. Honestly, he isn't even family to me anymore after what he pulled today. Did he really think it was a good idea to wait until the last moment to tell me that he was going to stay away from my wedding and call me moneyless? Well, I was the one that told you that, not him. Well, before this, I had invited the both of you out to see my husband and get to know him before we married. My husband had really wanted to meet the both of you back then. I think he knew that my brother was working with his company as partners, and he wanted to get him into a position with more responsibilities, but also more pay. But my brother gave the excuse that coming out to see my husband would be a waste of his time and money and never came. That's what my brother chose, not you. But had you told him that your husband is the CEO, then everything would be different now, right? All you needed to say was that your husband is the CEO. I didn't want my brother coming out to see my husband because of his chance of a promotion, though. I wanted him coming out to meet my husband because he's my family, and that would be the right thing to do. I knew that Wyatt would have to give up some of his time to come out and see us, but had he come, we would have told him then about how my husband's the CEO of the company he works with. But Wyatt chose to never come out and see his family, so that's that. This is all on him now, and he's responsible for not being allowed into my wedding anymore. No matter how much you both try to get yourselves let into my wedding, no matter how much your husband's promotion rides on it, you're not allowed in. You're going to act like this just because he never came out to see your husband before you married him? It's not just because of that, Lori. Before Wyatt was married to you, he was never that serious about his time and money. But now that you're his wife, he's changed into someone that's stingy and very judgmental of others based off of their income. He is always complaining about things, and it makes me miss my brother when he was single. Don't tell me that you only see my brother as your wallet, and that's why he's become so worried about money. That is not the problem at hand right now. Can't you see that the both of us have rushed all the way out here now because we see how serious the situation is now? Would you please let us in there so that we can be a part of the wedding? I'm telling you that you're both being pains in my butt. I'm no longer in the state of mind where I want to support the two of you any longer. So I'm not going to be letting either one of you into my wedding hall. What? You have to be lying, right? We are already waiting outside the main entrance to the wedding hall. There's a security guard standing at the door, and no matter how many times we tell him that Wyatt is your brother, he won't budge. Yeah, that's because I told him that's fine. The security guard is not to let either of you in. I don't think he'll be letting you anywhere near that door today. Now, I am in the middle of my wedding, so good day to you both. And, you can start thinking of me as a complete stranger now, so goodbye forever. Why did you not let either one of us into your wedding? Right now, Wyatt is pissed at me for everything and saying that I'm the only one to blame. He says that I began to talk way too much and ended up getting ourselves locked out. Well, there is that. But you could just explain to him that this also falls on his shoulders for tagging along with you and making fun of my husband and I and canceling on the wedding. Tell him that he's to blame just as much as you are because he allowed himself to be brainwashed by you. Well, either way, we're pretty much at that point now where I can say I'm cutting ties with the both of you. What? What are you talking about, Tina? I'm in a huge fight now with Wyatt because of what you did to us. You left us outside the wedding hall all day, so can you at least help me get out of this now? Huh? What makes you think you can ask me for help after all you've done? It's because of you and that wedding that my husband and I's relationship is going to fall apart. You're the only one that's able to fix things between us now after all of that. And I bet if you have your husband come as well and talk business with Wyatt, that Wyatt will begin to calm down more and start being nice to me again. Do you think you can do that for the both of us? I'm so glad that you still haven't learned anything from this and are coming to me asking for help. Makes me feel like I am better than you now. What do you mean? It's nothing. Just know that both my husband and I are finished with you both. No, what? Are you actually being serious about cutting ties with us both? Well, right now all I can see is a brother who doesn't even care enough about his little sister to come to her wedding and is viewed by all his superiors as an absolute screw-up. And my husband has already cut ties with you two, so there's really no need for me to talk with either of you anymore. Make sure to tell Wyatt that my husband is no longer willing to put in a good word for him either, so consider that promotion gone. What the hell, Tina? Are you really planning to let your own brother and I just crash like this? Do you and your husband not feel that you've gone way too far now? Wyatt has nothing to do with us anymore. He's just a stranger now. The weight that comes with making fun of my husband is very heavy. And we're going to make sure that after today, we never have to hear from or see either of you two again. And if your husband is to lose his position working with my husband's company for good, then you'll never have anything to do with us. Lose his position? Do you really think that Wyatt will be demoted over something like this? I never thought that the talks he was supposed to have at that wedding were so important. I'm sure that when his pay is cut with the demotion, you living as his housewife will no longer work anymore. And from that point on, you'll no longer think about calling other couples that work jobs at the same time lowlifes ever again, right? Poor things, you two. Now, enjoy whatever dwindling days you have left as a housewife, okay? You did a great job this time, and I hope you enjoy the life of being moneyless and depressed. And just as Tina had been explaining to Lori, her husband gave Wyatt's bosses a bad word about him, and he lost his position making deals with Tina's husband's company. Following that, he was then demoted to working the front desk of the office building, and would be given a major pay cut with that. Because of that, he was no longer bringing in enough money for himself and Lori, which led to her then having to find a job as well. This then led to their relationship becoming increasingly strained, as they spent day after day fighting one another. I'm sure that soon those two will begin to consider getting a divorce, but if that is to happen, Wyatt will be left with no wife, no sister, and a rather sad job. And as for Lori, well, I'm not really sure if she'll be left with much either, but that's totally okay.
Liz, because of what's going on, I'm gonna have to be blunt here. I'm not sticking around with an old grandma anymore.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm saying that I'd rather be with a young woman any day, as opposed to with you. I had been trying my best to stick around with you for a while now, but as I knew what would happen, I've reached my limit. So can we get a divorce?
What are you saying, Randy? Huh? Are you being serious right now?
I mean, Liz, you're already 39 years old, right? You and I are 9 whole years apart in age. Back when I had married you was a time in which I was excited to be with an older woman, and so were a lot of other men. But now I wonder why the hell I ever got married to you in the first place. Even your skin feels a lot worse than that of a young gal's. And so with that, let's get divorced.
Have you hit your head on something? You know all that I've done for you up until now, right? And do you know why I'm in the hospital right now?
I know why.
I'm here to give birth to our baby. Yet during this very important and stressful time of our life, you're going on about wanting a divorce?
A 39-year-old giving birth to a baby is really the most disappointing thing I've ever heard of.
What?
And that's why I'm asking for a divorce. I'm telling you right now that I have another woman that I love. And she's a young gal whose skin is as soft as cotton candy. So that little brat that you're gonna give birth to isn't gonna get any love from me.
Wait, Randy, can you not see how much of a jerk you're being right now? I've known for a bit now that you've been acting suspicious and probably had another lady, but I didn't think you'd drag all of that this far and into a relationship. What the hell are you talking about? I'm having a really hard time understanding what's going on with you. Is this all supposed to be a joke? Your timing is the worst for it. Why don't you go find somewhere to calm down a bit and rethink what you've just said to me?
Why don't I? Because while you've been in the hospital getting ready to give birth, I've moved out of the house.
Huh?
The apartment has been your place for the longest time now, even before I came, so it has nothing to do with me anymore. I moved all my things and myself out of there and left the divorce papers on the counter for you. Go ahead and fill the rest in for me and hand them in.
Are you kidding me? I just had your daughter, Randy. What the actual hell are you going on about? Calm down right now, please.
I'm calm right now, Liz. No matter how you try and get me to stay with you guys, I'm never gonna love that little brat of yours. That thing is none of my business. And I can't even believe that you thought about having a baby at your age in the first place.
You're being a monster right now. She's your daughter as well, right? And after all the effort I have put into caring and birthing her, you're going to say awful things like that? I'm not going to forgive you for this.
I couldn't care less if you forgave me or not. I'm never going to be seeing you ever again after this, so have fun being upset with me.
You don't even plan to ever come to see your baby's girl's face? This has all got to be some sort of joke.
I told you plenty of times now that it's not a joke. This is all very real and not a dream. I don't have the confidence to love a baby that was birthed by some old grandma at the age of 39. I don't even want to know what the poor soul looks like after coming out of you, so hurry up and leave me when you get home.
Well, then I'm never letting you see the two of us ever again.
Thank God. Now I'm on my way to being a free man again. I'm gonna have a lot more fun in my second life. I was never going to stay with you once you turned 40. And having to raise that kid beside you would have been hell. Thank God you're okay with going away. Goodbye now, Grandma.
But can you promise one thing to me before you go?
What?
I'll agree with getting the divorce, but in return for that, you're never to come back to me or my daughter if you ever need any help.
I don't plan to ever see you guys again. There's no reason for me to in the first place, so I promise to never come around you two again. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Well, if you're going to promise me that, then we can get a divorce. And of course I'm going to be getting full custody of my daughter.
You can have it. I don't even want to think of that brat as being mine.
Alright then. You may be one of the worst men on the planet, but thank you for giving me my beautiful daughter. Now please never show your face around us again.
I never will. But that also means you and that brat can never come looking for me either. Bye-bye, Grandma.
Goodbye forever, you pile of trash.
It's been a while, Liz. I'm going to the wedding right now.
Excuse me? But who is this?
You know who I am. I'm the father of today's wedding bride. I've been looking forward to this wedding for a long, long time. And so today, I'm going to meet with her.
Hold on for a moment. What are you talking about? Do you still think that you're her father? Even after a whole 20 years have gone by and you've said nothing to either one of us, what are you trying to do by texting me all of a sudden?
I wanted to tell you that I'm going to that wedding. This is going to be a very emotional day for all of us when I finally get to see the daughter of mine that was taken from me.
Huh? I'm not quite sure how you even figured out where her wedding would be today, or that she was even getting married in the first place. But stop trying to be obnoxious by sending me all these texts.
Well, I'm the father of the bride, so I'm allowed to be at that wedding.
This is getting out of hand. Can you please open your eyes for a sec? Do not come over here. Did you forget about the promise you made to me 20 years ago that allowed me to divorce you? Hey, are you listening to me right now?
Why did that happen? Why was everyone being so crazy with me when I got in there? Is everyone at that wedding a freak? Tossing me out of my own daughter's wedding? I'm her friggin' father.
Is it time that you'll be willing to open your dang eyes finally? The way you came in looking like trash and causing all that embarrassment for my daughter. And another thing, you need to stop calling my daughter yours.
Why do I have to stop? She's my daughter too.
After not even being in the hospital room with me while I gave birth, you threw us out. And then you chased after a young woman and left us for a very long time. And after 20 years, you're all of a sudden back here trying to get into my daughter's wedding? I can't think of another reason as to why you're doing this besides that you really messed up with your head while you've been gone.
You can call me messed up all you want, but what else was I supposed to do today? That young gal lied to me and got me stuck with her and all of the debt she had. And so me being messed up right now is not my dang fault. I was lied to and played for a fool. I didn't plan on turning into a bum after I left you.
I don't care what happened with you and that girl because I don't care about you. You're a stranger to us all, and you said you'd never come back to us, right? You promised that. She has no clue who you are, and she even said that to your face today.
And that was screwed up big time. That is not something she should ever say to her parents. Have you not been raising her properly this whole time? Are you sure this is all because you're too old and can't handle kids?
What? What the hell are you trying to do right now after saying things like that about my daughter and I? You're blaming my way of raising her because she was so worried by some random men coming into her wedding and having him thrown out? I don't want to hear that crap out of your mouth ever again after you left us when she was only just born. If you want to know who's really at fault for today, I'd say your parents are because they obviously didn't raise you right. Well, at this point, I'm sure you already know, and so do your parents.
I want to know who that man is. And the father of the... What's that all about?
Huh? That's the man I got married to. Are you acting as though I needed to tell you anything about him, though? Do you still not see that you have no right being around us right now?
Why was that man that you married sitting in the seat that was labeled for the bride's father? That's my frickin' seat. If you start pissing me off any more than I already am, things are gonna get scary for you. Go tell those two idiot security guards that I'm okay and let me come sit there.
Why are you getting upset with me for no reason? Do you think that making threats like that will get me worked up?
What?
I'm really worried about what's gotten into you that's made you so screwed in the head. You're the one that threw us away years ago, right? And after 20 years of realizing how badly you messed up, you came on my daughter's biggest day looking like garbage to do what? Why the hell are you here, Randy? And why do you think you have any right to be here? Do you need something from us? Tell me right now.
You're the real piece of garbage for getting married again without telling me. I came back here to get my family back together.
Get your family back together? Huh? Do you think that my daughter and I are your family or something, Randy? We have a new family now, and you're not part of it. All you are is some stranger that we're starting to think might need to visit a psych ward. I don't want to hear anything about how upset you are that I got married again when you were the one that got divorced to me to run off with a young woman. I think you better zip that mouth of yours and keep it zipped.
Give me that seat back. She's my daughter.
Come on, Randy. It was nice of you to make me laugh a little, but your joke is getting old now. You have never even met my daughter before, so why do you keep thinking that she's your daughter after it's been 20 years? I think the only reason you've come out here for her is because you're broke. And so, this is all out of desperation now. That kind of thinking is only something a complete lunatic would have.
You don't have to take it that far. I am a bit worried about money right now, but I didn't come today for that reason.
Then, what's your reason for being here? Tell me right now.
I had heard that she was going to get married, and so I asked a friend about it that knows her, and she told me that the wedding would be taking place close by, so I thought it would be okay for me to come and see it. I was hoping for a very dramatic reunion after 20 years of never seeing any of you. I wanted us to all be crying out of happiness for being able to see one another again. But now that things have become so hectic, I have no idea what I'm doing here anymore. I had believed that we could all talk about each other's lives again.
Wait, why did you think that we'd all be open arms to you? There's no reason for us to be, right? There was no way this was going to turn into some sort of dramatic reunion. Have you even noticed the contradiction there is in your plan?
What?
You have never even met my daughter before.
And why does that mean anything? How would that contradict anything in my plans for today? I'm her father, and so she should be all happy and crying to see me.
You act like this would be a reunion with her, but this was her first time ever seeing you. Asking to have a dramatic reunion when you need to introduce yourself to her first? How come you thought this would actually play out so well for you?
Now that you say it back to me, I'm sure it would have been odd. But that's not all. She's my daughter, right?
I'm too tired to talk with you anymore about this. Did you think that being related to her by blood made you her father? I'm sorry, Randy, but my husband has been with my daughter since she was 3 years old and has helped me raise her since then. And so she calls my husband the father. And there's no changing that now. To her, it does not matter whether she's related to her by blood or not.
There's no way. That's a frickin' lie.
You don't have to be able to believe it, but we all think that we're a family, and you can't do a thing about that. So, you can say what you want about us, but don't think it's going to bother us. We have nothing to do with you after all.
Even if she does see him as her father, she should still be a little curious about her real father, right? That's the whole reason I came here today to see her. Does me being here on her wedding day not make her really happy?
I think she does want to know more about her real father. It's normal for anyone to want to get to know their real parents if they never grew up knowing them. But I think after today, she no longer wants to get to know you.
Huh? Why?
You're asking me? Ha! Are you really that dense? You came into her wedding in some raggedy clothes and covered in what looks like soot. And you made a complete fool of yourself, embarrassing her on her wedding day. That right there might have just scarred her a little.
Scarred her? Why would that scar her any?
She's told me that she never wants you coming around her again now. Of course, she doesn't want you here anymore. And even after the wedding, she doesn't want you showing up. If you do come around her, or the rest of us again, we're calling the police and having you arrested. My husband knows a lot of the police officers in town, so he can make things happen quickly. So having you eradicated is all too easy for us.
Why would you do something like that to me? I only came here to see my daughter's wedding.
You just want the money that her husband has, right? And that's why we had you kicked out of there.
I don't know anything about her husband's money. Why would I know anything about that?
I can see that things are still not lining up in your reasoning. Well, it doesn't matter if you came here for his money or not, because he really has nothing to do with you. You're just the average bum to him is all. You ended up ruining your own life chasing after young girls. And that's why you came to this wedding today, hoping for some kind of money or something. Disgusting. You have nothing you can do to us now, so get lost.
I never thought you'd say such things to me. Does my daughter think the same thing of me?
You don't even know my daughter's name. So what do you think? I think after what you've seen today, you should finally understand, right? She doesn't want you around her anymore. You're just a ghost to her that hasn't been alive for the past 20 years. So you can stop trying to get involved with our lives. Now, goodbye.
Wait, please! Her husband has a lot of money then. Can you ask him just to give me a small amount? I just need enough to help myself get back on my own 2 feet again.
No, this was about money. Huh. You deserve to have no money, Randy, so I wouldn't want you getting spoiled by anyone. It was you, after all, that made your life the way it is now, right? So stop whining about not having money when you asked for it in the first place. Haha.
After that, Randy wasn't only thrown out of the wedding and never let back into it, but after throwing a huge fit in front of the wedding hall, the police came and gave him a citation for public disturbance. And after that, Liz and her family told the police that he'd been causing trouble for them all day, and now he's not allowed anywhere near them or else the police will arrest him, as Liz, her husband, and her daughter all put a restraining order on him. Once that had all played out, Randy was still left with a large amount of debt, and slowly began to fall victim to it. I think he's finally starting to regret everything he did in the end to Liz and her daughter. But to be honest, him regretting things now is way too late, and he should have been regretting what he's done a whole lot sooner when he may still have a chance with Liz.
Right now I'm in the middle of shopping for groceries. And what about you, Dominic?
I'm heading home to my parents' house. I've decided to make them my main priority now.
Your priority? What are you talking about?
I want to be back with my parents now, living in their house and spending time around them.
What? Why are you planning to live back there with them now? What about us here?
You will come with me and live with my parents here as well. Why would you ask such a stupid question?
But you can't just make a decision like that so quickly. I have a lot of things going on myself, and some of those things might require me to stay at our home.
What? Are you going to listen to what I'm saying then? Who is the one you should be thanking for giving you the life you have? I am the one you should be thanking. It's because of me that both you and our son, who can't support yourselves on your own, are even able to have a roof over your heads.
I understand that it's due to your income that we're all able to have a house and food on the table. But why are you wanting to go back and live with your parents now, out of nowhere?
Because my mom is 65 years old now, and my dad is planning on retiring soon. I can tell that pretty soon, his body isn't going to be working so well. So there has to be someone close to them to take care of them.
But the last time we were over at their house seeing them, they both seemed to be doing very well by themselves. I really don't think we should be forcing ourselves to move back with them and live there quite yet.
And if something really bad were to happen to one of them, would you be able to take responsibility for it?
No, I wouldn't be able to.
Then let's do as I've said. No matter what else you have to say to me, we're going back to live with my parents.
But what about your job? It'll take way too long for you to get into work every day from their house. They live so far away from here.
Well, about that.
Right? That's why we can't just get up and move all the way out to their house like you're wanting to. I'll make sure when I have more time to myself that I use it going over to their house to check up on them, okay? Will that help you relax a little?
All right.
Thank you. Can you please go and tell your parents that?
I've decided that starting tomorrow, we're going to go back and live with my parents at their house. We're all going to be moving out of here, so come back home and start getting all of our things ready to go.
What are you talking about, Dominic?
What? Do you not remember anything from the last time we talked? We were both talking about how I wanted all of us to move back home to my parents' house. You couldn't have forgotten about all of that yet.
Wait, I do remember all of that. But we ended that conversation saying we didn't need to move back with them, right? There was the whole issue regarding you getting to work every day from their house.
And I've made sure to fix all of that myself.
Fix all of that? How were you able to do that?
Don't be so surprised by what I can do. I asked my company if they'd let me transfer to another office.
Transfer offices?
That's right. There's a smaller office closer to my parents' house, and that's where I asked them to move me to.
Why would you take all of that this far?
Shut it, Bailey! I told you that we were going to move in with my parents, and that's what I've been trying to do. Luckily, my higher-ups allowed me to transfer out of the main office, so starting tomorrow, I'll be working from that smaller office.
Wait! Why would you keep all of this from us? Something as important as that has been going on with you, and you were going to hide it from your son and I until the very last minute? What about your parents? I'm sure your mom is shocked to hear about what you've done, right?
Don't worry about it. I made sure to let my mom and dad know this was happening way before I told you.
You're kidding, right? So it was just your own family that you were hiding all of that from?
That's right. I knew you'd be whining about it all the time, so I made sure to never tell you a thing.
I cannot believe this, Dominic. What the hell were you thinking? Why would you do something like that to us?
You guys are both very important to me. But you're not my family. You're both my subordinates. I am the one that has been supporting the both of you with my income, right? So it's only fair I view the both of you as below me.
What the hell?
Now, as for right now, you head home and start getting all of your things together, and then make your way over to my parents' house. And once you're moved in, I want you to start learning about all the chores you're going to be taking on from my mom. Do you understand that? I am not going to let you start cooking crappy food for everyone in my parents' home.
The fact that we have to move now? Well, there's no other choice, I guess. You already transferred to another office, so you have to be closer to it in order to commute now.
That's right. And that's why you need to get your butt moving.
But having to live with your mom and dad is a bit...
What? Are you trying to tell me you don't want to come and live with my parents now?
That's not what I'm saying, but can't we at least move into our own place close to them? We can find an apartment close to their house to stay at. That way, whenever your parents do need help, we'll be right there. Is that a bad choice to you?
You already know that's a bad choice. I want you to live back in my parents' house with them. There is no way I choose to move it to any other place but their house. Now quit your yapping and hurry it up with the packing you need to get done.
Hey, wait! Jace, are you doing all right now?
I am. Why do you ask?
Well, actually, it looks like we're going to have to move out of the house.
What? Why do we have to move all of a sudden?
Well, your dad, he chose to change locations for work without ever asking either one of us if it'd be okay first. And because of that, he wants us moving in with Grandpa and Grandma now.
I knew it. Dad is always so selfish when it comes to things regarding the whole family.
I'm so sorry about this.
You don't have to apologize to me for what he's been doing. You're just as much a victim as I am right now, and I feel bad seeing you say things like that to me.
No, you don't have to worry about me. I've gotten kinda used to your dad and how much he loves to make the choices in the house. But this time, he really took things a bit too far.
Having to move in with Grandpa and Grandma now. I guess Dad has no idea that I'm not going to be able to live in a house like theirs, right?
I guess he doesn't remember anything from what happened way back then.
I know he doesn't remember a single thing from it. That guy doesn't give a crap about either you or I, Mom, and it's far too easy to tell him that.
I tried to ask him if it'd be all right for us to move into a place close to Grandpa and Grandma's.
I'm sure he said no to that, right?
Yeah.
Would it be impossible for just you and I to continue living in this house while he moves back to their house?
I think so. The person paying for the rent of this apartment has always been your dad.
I see. What am I going to do here?
Calm down a bit.
Huh?
I'll make sure nothing happens to you, all right?
But we have no other choice but to move into that house with everyone else, right?
Don't worry about that. For the time being, let's both you and I just get all the packing taken care of before we make the move.
Hey, how's it all going? Have you been making good progress? Getting everything packed and ready to go?
Hey, listen, there are a lot of things packed up, so it's been a bit difficult moving everything. Where are you at right now? I'd really like it if you came here and helped us out.
Are you freaking kidding me? You know dang well that every day I have to be at work making money for us. Unlike you, I'm actually out here working my butt off instead of just moping around the house.
You do understand that I'm always getting all the chores done in the house, right? I have never once had the time to just mope around all day.
Anybody can do chores, Bailey. Hell, even I could, if I really wanted. So stop trying to make yourself look all strong and powerful by saying you do a little cleaning.
Then I'm going to have to be the one to work with the moving people and make sure all the paperwork is filled out so that they can take our things to the right address, right?
Of course! Stop talking about all of that like you wouldn't be the one dealing with it. You really are such an idiot. And let me just say this right now. Even if getting everything ready to go is difficult for you, don't you dare slack off from the rest of your chores. When I get back home, dinner better be ready for me still. And the bath better be hot and ready for me as well.
But I don't have the time to get to all of that. Can we just have takeout for dinner tonight?
Are you kidding? If you're not even able to get the chores and cooking done for me, then you have literally no use to me anymore. Now quit with all that jabber and do as I tell you.
I knew it. So that's the way you think of me, as your wife.
What was that? Do you have something else you want to complain about now?
No, nothing really.
Then you listen to what I've said and do it.
Understood. I'll do everything to the best of my ability.
Get it all taken care of, you moron.
Where are you right now, Dominic?
Why are you asking me something like that right now?
Well, it's the day you planned for us to all move, yet I haven't been able to find you anywhere.
I'm sure that's the case for you. Because I've already gone to my parents' house and am here with them right now.
What? You already went there by yourself and never told either myself or Jace?
That's right. And what's your problem with that?
Well, the moving truck is on its way over right now, so I was expecting that you'd be here to help load the things onto it.
Why should I have to be the one to do all of that physical work for you? You and those movers take care of it all yourselves.
Is that what you want? So you really don't plan on doing anything to help us out, do you?
I'm not doing anything. I don't need to be doing it all. And by the way, do you remember what you have to do once you've moved in here with us?
What?
You need to clean. I want you to clean up all of my parents' house.
You want me to clean up that massive house all by myself the moment we get moved in?
Well, of course I do. Who the hell else would be taking care of all that?
Well, hasn't your mom been the one keeping up with all of that while you and I have been living here?
And I told you already that she's too old now to have to be doing all of that. Cleaning is getting pretty hard on her body. So the only person that can do all of that cleaning in her place is you. So you're going to clean.
So what you're saying is that I've pretty much got to do everything for everyone now.
That's exactly right. Besides cleaning and cooking, there's no other use for you.
Is that how you really feel about me?
Huh? What's wrong with me thinking that about you?
Nothing. I just wanted to make sure that was the case. Now, I have to work on getting us moved out of this house. See you later.
Hey, how much longer do you plan on keeping me waiting?
What are you going on about?
It's already past 2 p.m. now. It's way past the time that all of our things should be arriving at my parents' house.
Oh, is that so? I don't happen to be one of the movers, so I'm not sure about any of that.
Bailey, where are you right now?
I'm at the house.
Huh? It's been 4 hours now, and you're still over at that old house? What the hell are you thinking? I really can't use you for anything, can I?
What are you so confused about, Dominic? I'm not talking about that old place. I'm talking about this new house that I've moved into.
A new house? What are you even going on about, Bailey? Have you lost your mind now or something?
No, I'm 100% here and in the present. Both myself and Jace have moved into a new house. All of our things have already arrived at this new house for us, and we've already begun unpacking everything. Why is it taking you so long to get over here?
Whoa, wait a dang second! Have you Have you actually moved into a new house without ever getting my permission?
I have.
What the hell is going on here? I never heard a thing about this from either of you.
I could have sworn I said something to you about it, though. I said I preferred us moving into an apartment close by to your parents' house.
And I told you no to that option.
And I told you no to living in that house with your parents. Yet you continued to think that we would all just move into there anyway with them. So if that's how things were going to be, then it shouldn't be a problem that I got myself this apartment and moved into here without taking your veto into consideration.
No. But you never mentioned anything to me yesterday about how you'd be moving into that new apartment.
I know. And that's because I didn't have any plans of telling you. I've already gone ahead and found an apartment that we can live in month to month without having to sign a yearly contract.
You stop all of that! Do you think I'm just going to let you and Jace live in that place instead of coming here?
I don't need you to let us do anything, Dominic. Jace and I discussed all of this and decided on moving into here. So don't try and tell us we can't live here.
Then what about the things that should be moved into this house?
Go ahead and handle all your things yourself.
What? Are you being serious right now?
Well, of course I'm being serious. I've had enough of these games with you, so the only things I'll be saying now are very serious.
Crap! Just a second ago, my things came for me.
Well, isn't that wonderful for you? I suppose the movers were just caught up in traffic or something like that?
I'm not worried about that anymore, though. So you're not kidding about wanting for the two of us to live in completely different places now, then?
I was saying that just a little bit ago.
So you're really not going to listen to anything I've been saying?
And so what?
Do you have no idea what you've done to us by doing all of that?
Are you going to start whining about how what I've done is the cause of all our problems? If you're going to start pulling that, then I'll take action myself.
No. I'm not trying to fight you on anything right now.
Then what do you want to tell me?
I'm just trying to say that the reason I chose to have us move back in with my parents is for all of our sakes. I want you to understand that, Bailey!
For all our sakes? You mean just for your parents' sake, right? I mean, you were telling me about how Jace and I aren't even family to you.
You have it all wrong. I made this choice thinking about the both of you.
Stop it with the lies, all right? If you were thinking about us, then why did you never actually come to us and discuss what you wanted?
And I know now that I was wrong for doing that. But come on, just think about it a little. If you guys come back and live with my parents and I, then we'll never have to pay rent. To us, this is a huge plus, and it'll really help us all out.
You must have a really messed up head there. You would make all the effort to change offices and everything just so that we didn't have to pay rent anymore? It's not even like you were having any trouble paying the rent with your income, Dominic.
But this was also about saving up money for Jace's future and all that.
What is he going to do about school? If he moves back into that house with you and your parents, then he's not going to be able to make it to his high school every day. Are you going to ask him to change schools and leave all his friends?
Well, about that, yeah.
Wow, so you haven't been thinking about us.
What has Jace had to say about all of this? Has he been saying he hasn't wanted to move in with his grandparents?
You think he'd actually want to move at his age?
No, I know for a fact that you're just manipulating him into thinking and saying that he doesn't want to move here.
If that's what you think, then why not ask him yourself what he thinks?
I will then. I will. Jace, let's have a little talk.
What do you want? I'm really busy right now.
You, right now, you're with Mom at the new apartment, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Is that really what you want for yourself?
What are you trying to get at here, Dad?
For a long time now, you've never been the one to speak for yourself, right? I'm trying to see if you're just being forced to do as your mom has told you right now.
What? Well, I mean, you've always loved your grandma, and you should want to live with her, right? She has really been looking forward to you moving in with her. So what do you think? Alright? Go ahead and tell me how you really feel right now, Jace. I won't bite back. You can tell me everything, and your dad will be all ears. Are you sure you want to hear everything? Of course I'm sure. Well then, here I go with the truth. I would like to live in this new apartment with Mom, and only Mom. Jace, you really don't have to worry about what Mom is making you say and think. I don't have to worry? I haven't been worrying about that though, Dad. Actually, I'm so happy to finally be living in a house away from you.
What's happened to you, Jace? You were never the kind of kid who would say something like that to his dad.
And what exactly do you know about the real me? That's right. You don't know a single thing about the person I am.
I sure do know things about you. And when I chose to have us all move back in with your grandparents, I did so thinking of you.
Really? So it was for me then, was it?
Of course it was.
To me, you are the most important part of this family. Then, do you remember what happened to me the last time I went to that house and stayed with Grandpa and Grandma?
What are you talking about?
You don't remember. I had to be taken away from there in an ambulance and spent some time in the hospital.
Now that you mention it, I do remember something like that.
No, you don't. You don't remember a thing about what happened to me.
But I'm sure the only reason you had to go to the hospital from their house is because you became sick, right?
Nope. For some reason I had an allergic reaction, and it became really hard for me to breathe.
An allergic reaction?
Did you know that I'm allergic to mites? When I was last over at their place, the carpet and bedding was filled with them, all crawling around. And that's why I had such a bad allergic reaction. So ever since that day, I have not been able to go back to Grandpa and Grandma's house. But of course, you wouldn't know anything about that, because you never cared about me.
I do remember that though.
You do? And yet you've been trying so hard to have me move into that house and live there? What is that all about? Are you trying to show me how much you hate me or something?
No, not at all. You have that totally wrong, Jace.
I've had enough of this, Dad. I have things I need to take care of now. Don't bother ever trying to talk to me again, okay?
How was it? Were you able to get him to listen to what you were trying to say?
Who cares about that kid? It's all because of you and your rude character that brat has turned into a real pain in the butt.
Hey, don't you dare talk about my son that way. That kid is a very kind and affectionate young man who I happen to love very much.
What about him is kind? That stupid brat.
All right, then. I can see there is no getting anywhere with you anymore, Dominic.
Do you really plan for just the two of you to live over there in that new apartment from now on?
Yes, that's the plan.
Well, I'm not going to help you pay for anything then. And when you come back crying to me later, I'm not going to give you crap.
I will never come crying to you about anything.
Well then, what are you going to do? How are you going to be able to feed the brat when you don't make any money?
Do you really still believe that I'm not making any money?
Huh? What are you talking about? There's no way you've been making any money when you've been staying at home the whole time I've been married to you.
Well, I'll have you know that ever since college, I've been running my own blog online.
What are you talking about?
On there, I've been showing everyone the kinds of clothing I like to wear and the kinds of cosmetics that work for me. And a few years ago, I started to gather a pretty large following, and because of that, I became affiliated in some things. So as of right now, I've had plenty of sponsors.
You've had sponsors? Hey, you explain to me right now what the hell you're talking about.
As of right now, I have been running an online store where I sell the kinds of clothing and cosmetic brands that I'm sponsored by. And that's the way I've been bringing in money of my own.
You have your own shop? You?
I do. And I'm making way more from the sponsors that I have than you are with your current job. But I knew saying something about my current work would destroy the pride you've had, so I've kept it all a secret from you.
You're lying about all that.
I'm sure you won't believe what I'm telling you right now, but this is all the truth. So there is no reason for me to rely on you for money anymore. If anything, Jace and I are going to be living far better off now than you.
So, you're being serious then?
Yes, I sure am. So you can go ahead and stop worrying about either one of us here and put all your time into caring for your parents.
I get it now. I give up. I can see now that everything that's happened here is because of me. But please, don't forget that I made all these decisions while thinking about you two.
How the hell does changing work locations and moving out of the house without ever talking to us about it make me believe you were thinking of us?
At the very least, I was thinking about Jace when I made these choices.
Even after what had happened to him while he stayed at your parents' house before? You want me to believe him living with them again was for his sake? You're joking, right?
That allergy that he was talking about was all in his head. By now, he should be well enough to come live here.
Unbelievable. You think that his allergy is all in his head? Shut the hell up, Dominic. The only reason you're even able to say something as cruel as that about him is because you've never understood just how little you've cared about your own dang son.
No, I do care about him.
No, you don't. Back when he had to be rushed to the hospital, you never even came to see him. You told me it was a pain to have to leave work to go see your own son as he was suffering an allergic reaction.
I only said that because I thought you were just going to throw a fit or something at the hospital.
Bullcrap. I had every reason to be worked up over our son because he could have died that day.
And anyway, I'm not going to allow my family to live in two separate houses.
Then what are you going to do?
I'm going to bring my parents and I to that apartment to live with you guys. Then there shouldn't be any problems, right?
No way. I am not okay having 5 people living in this apartment.
Then let's move to a place where all 5 of us can live there.
We are all family, right? And as a family, we have to stick together at all times.
And I believe the exact same thing when it comes to family.
Perfect! Then can you please tell me the address of your apartment?
No thanks.
Why the hell not?
Because you aren't family to me. I have no reason to be telling a stranger where my son and I are living.
Huh? What are you going on about now, Bailey? Did you just say I'm a stranger to you?
I'm sure if I don't tell you straight, you'll never be able to understand what I mean. I'm going to divorce you. I'll make sure to have all the papers and everything sent to your parents' house later. I'd like you to take those documents and go to the courthouse to hand them in once you've filled them out.
Whoa, wait a minute, please. What the hell is this about? A divorce? This is way different from what we're normally talking about.
Oh, I don't think so. You continue to do things only for yourself, and that's gone and killed any of the love I had left for you. And that's why I want a divorce now. None of this is any different from what's been going on already.
Just calm down, all right? Jace is still in high school, Bailey. Do you have any idea how he might feel when he finds out his mom wants a divorce?
I'm sorry, but Jace has already agreed with me divorcing you.
Liar! There's no way he'd be alright with something like that.
Unfortunately for you, though, he told me straight to my face that he's happy that I want to leave you. Well, once you've calmed down a bit, perhaps you can go ask him about that yourself. I'm sure he's going to tell you the exact same thing I'm saying now.
No way.
Also, I'm going to be getting a settlement from you in the divorce.
A settlement? What makes you think you can do that when you're the only one wanting this divorce in the first place? I am never going to let you get any money from me.
It's not about you letting me get any or not. It's about what the court is going to say. Do you have any idea about any of the things you've done to me while we've been married? You have shown more than once that you feel as though you have all the power in the family and that you can abuse it to get whatever you want from me. That is more than enough to allow me to get a settlement from you.
I haven't been trying to harass you or anything, though.
Then go and take a look at all the texts you've sent me before. I think after taking a read through everything, you'll have a better idea of what you've been trying to do to me. Then I won't have to explain anything to you about it, right?
But there's no way.
Now I'm going to get myself a lawyer to talk to, and after today, you can talk with them if you have anything else to say to me. I don't want you to ever contact me directly again.
Hey, wait! Can you at least listen to one last thing from me?
No, thank you. If you have anything else to say to me, then talk with my lawyer about it. I made sure to tell him everything. I think he and I will be getting the divorce really soon.
I see. That's great to hear.
It sure is great. I feel so much better now having said everything.
I'm sorry about all you've had to go through with him.
What? Oh, why are you apologizing to me for that?
The only reason you've been having to deal with that guy for so long is in order to protect me, right? I've always been a kid to you, and that's why you put up with this crap, right?
Well, you are right about that, but...
That's why I'm apologizing to you for that. Also, thank you. From now on, I'm going to be the one supporting and protecting you, okay?
You're an idiot. You really don't have to think about me that much. I just want you to be around me, and that's enough to make me happy and show me you care. In the end, I was able to get the divorce from Dominic with no issues. And after everything was over between us, he started to have some real troubles with his money. Had he just had to pay for the settlement and the last few years of child support, he would have been just fine. But that didn't seem to be all that he had to deal with. Right after the divorce, his dad ended up having a stroke and passed out in their house. After that, he was left paralyzed on his whole left side and required a lot of Dominic's time to be taken care of. Dominic was left having to pay for both his dad to be treated for the stroke and the care he'd need to receive afterwards. With everything put together, he really had no room to pay for himself or anything else in his life, requiring him to take out some loans. In order to try making more money again, he asked his higher-ups to let him move back to the main office. But this time, they weren't so kind towards his request. As of right now, Dominic is really regretting ever asking his bosses to move him to the office closer to his parents, and I'm sure those regrets will never stop.